All right. So good job, everybody. Say thank you to John for the great presentation. Love it. Good stuff in there. So questions. Nobody has any questions? You guys are just, everyone knows everything. You guys teach me today. Okay? Okay. There's a couple of things that, you know, in thinking about this as an opportunity that sometimes people become afraid of, because they go, we come to them and we go, hey, come do a business with me. And we use that business word. And, you know, if I say to you, go open a business, what does that feel like to you? That feels like a lot of work, a lot of things I don't know how to do, a lot of investment, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of knowledge. There's so much stuff that goes into business when we think about it. But when we switch and we offer somebody an opportunity, or, you know, but it's the referral program. Everyone understands a referral program. And, you know, I refer you, I get DirecTV, I refer you to DirecTV, we both get $50, right? We all understand that. That's something that's common, it's simple. And, you know, to shift over from the business thought. And if I freeze, you guys let me know, because my internet is really unstable today. So the thought of shifting over from something that's business that feels hard into something that's just referring something to a friend makes it seem a little easier, even though it's the same exact thing. We're doing the same exact thing. There's at least 16 employees that were running 3 salons. There were all of these really hard things that I had to learn how to do that was 24/7. Here, this is very simple. I'm teaching you nutrition. We all eat tomorrow, right? We're all gonna eat tomorrow. Anybody not gonna eat tomorrow? Oh, am I frozen? This silly thing. So if anybody's not going to eat tomorrow, then, you know, you're probably in the wrong place. But if you're going to eat tomorrow, then you are in the right place, because all we're asking you to do is shift over something that you're currently doing into doing something else. So if I said, here's a store, when you come in here, you get your own health food store. You get we have over 80 different products, and we're getting even more this coming weekend. We have over 80 different products that we can utilize. We choose to start people off with the Forever Pack and give them baby steps, but we could go in 80 different directions if we wanted to. Very simple things. What can we replace in your life that you're already doing, so you can shift it over to something that's a higher quality product and make an investment in your household bottom line versus having an expense? Because food is an expense, correct? When you go out, you spend money on food, you go to the grocery store, you go, that's all an expense. That doesn't pay you back anything. But when you invest in your food here, you're investing in your own store, in your own health food store, in your own bottom line. So instead of having expense, we now have investment. Does that make sense? Hopefully I was not frozen through that whole explanation. Anybody? Somebody? Somebody give me a thumbs up or tell me that they can hear me.
Yes, oh, easy.
Okay, thank you. And so, you know, we want to, okay, thanks, Matt. Understand what's the difference between going from something that's employee-based, that's business, small business based, into something that's investment. And so if you guys have ever heard of, and I just kind of want to show you, there's There's multiple ways that we get paid here, but understanding where we get stuck sometimes is the thought process of what this really is. So let me just show you if I can get my screen to come up. Everything's moving at a snail's pace. Okay, so when we go through this at the power of 2, right? So I share with 2, you share with 2, you share with 2, they share with 2, everyone shares with 2. Let's just take it really simple and do it at the power of 2. It can create a huge amount of leverage for yourself. Now we go, well, I don't know, you know, I came into this and I knew some people. I didn't know 40,000 people. I knew a few people who knew a few people who knew a few people who knew a few people, and that turned into 40,000 people. What didn't all come from me. So when we think of how leverage works, this is really important, okay? So I don't know if any of you have ever seen this, but this is called the cash flow quadrant. This was created, but basically explained by Robert Kiyosaki, where what we do, there's 2 sides of the quadrant. There's the left side and the right side. On the left side of the quadrant, we trade time for money. We're an employee where we're working for someone else and building someone else's dream. We are, you know, letting them dictate our life. They are telling us, you know, when to come, when to go, when to eat, when to go to the bathroom, whether or not we can go to our kids' baseball games, right? That's all. We trade time for money. We do what they say, they give us a paycheck. And, you know, most of the time we're working just hard enough to not get fired, right? So I said, okay, I'm a blackjack dealer. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm a bartender. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to own my own life. So I'm going to open a small business. I'm going to have my own thing. I'm going to be my own boss. It's going to be great because I'm going to have all of this. This is going to be mine. I can be in control. No one can tell me what to do, like all of that. Yeah, guess what? Guess who tells me what to do? The bank tells me when I have to pay my rent. The bank tells me when I have to pay my SBA loan. You know, the customers, I have to be open a certain amount of hours. This is not freedom. So this, I gave up my time and they gave me a paycheck, but I had to live by their rules. Here, I invested hundreds of thousands of dollars and I was still living by someone else's rules, right? I was still not living a freedom life, and I had invested a ton of money. So now I had to go every single day, stick the key in the door, open the door, and, you know, hope that the customers showed up so I could, you know, run my tanning salons. Did we end up broke? We didn't end up broke, but you know that, is it 95%? Is it 95%? Tell me if I'm wrong, somebody. 95% of all small businesses that open don't make it 5 years. That's a scary thought when you think about that, because you invest all this money, you put your house up for collateral, and things don't go right, you really could lose everything, or you end up in bankruptcy. So on this side, we are trading time for money. I moved over to the other side where I started to see leverage as an asset. I never understood how it worked before because I just tried this great product. I had an amazing experience. I told a couple of friends, I got a paycheck. I was like, okay, how did that work? But then I realized that my couple of friends told a couple of friends. And those couple of friends told a couple of friends. And every single time they told somebody and they ordered, I earned income. This leverage thing was totally new to me. So it wasn't just the customers that I was out getting. It was anyone who came in, right? Only 5%, if you think about it, that only 5% of our entire probably world have financial freedom based on leverage. right? So big business, if you think about it, like those are the people who, big business, let's say Walmart or Costco, right? Big business. But that's not what I did. I didn't go big business. I was in the small business. Then I went into leverage. I sort of skipped right over that big business because Isagenix takes care of all of that big business stuff for me. They take care of my website. They take care of my distribution. They take care of my product research and development. They take care of all of that. They even take care of, you guys, they even take care of our tools. They take care of our advertising. All we got to do is go grab a video and share it with somebody. They take care of all of that stuff. Down here in small business, that was all me. Here, this is all Isagenix doing that for us. So what's that's allowed us to do is have this investment into a store that we own, but we don't have to carry inventory. We don't have to create our own websites. We don't have to recreate the wheel. All we have to do is go in, take the tools that were created and use them for our own leverage. Does that make sense? Like the difference between all of that stuff. So here, you know, big business still has to go do all that. They're doing all that stuff. We are just able to tap into this through the leverage that they've created and through the leverage that the team creates that you bring in. So everyone goes, I want to have my own thing. I'm an entrepreneur. I want to have my own business. But then they look at network marketing and go, that's a scam. No, crap, that's a scam. This small business thing is a scam. That is not freedom life. That is not financial time freedom. That is not freedom with your family. Did I have more freedom or less freedom when I went from employee to small business? Less. Here, I could work 8 hours and go home. Here, it was 24/7. Here, I don't have to care about what they do because here, I can choose to work my hour a day, 2 hours a day, 10 hours a day. This is totally what I want to do. If I want to go to the beach today, I have the ability to do that. This is freedom. Does that make sense? So when I was an employee, I could work, 40 hours a week? You know, there was 1 week when I was in catering, I think I worked, 127 hours. It was some crazy number. Like, I think I never went home. I pretty much showered and went back for an entire week. It was insane. And that was not freedom. And at the end of that, I didn't have a whole big, I didn't have enough paycheck to get me through the whole year. That was a lot of work. But that's all I could put in. But what my employer knew is that if they hired 10 people that would work 40 hours a week, they could make more money, right? As an employer, I knew if I could hire more people, have more tanning beds, that I could create more income. So there was always an investment there. So one person works 40 hours, I knew I could hire people that could make me more money. But when we switched that around and I go, okay, instead of having 10 people that work 40 hours a week, what if I had 40 people who worked an hour a week, an hour a day, 2 hours a day, and leverage that? There's no way that I could ever work that many hours a week myself. Even if it was 40 people just working, 1 hour a week, 1 hour a day. Think about that. 40 people working 1 hour a day. There's no way that you could do that on your own. So when we talk about leverage, that's what I'm talking about, is having this huge team of people that you don't even necessarily know that are creating time for you. And they're creating time for them. Rising tide rises all boats here, right? So my success is your success, is our success. It's all team success. So does that make sense? So now, if I have 40,000 people, even if they're working 30 minutes a day, look at the leverage that comes behind that. Look at how many times can Isagenix be shared today. If it was shared one time by each of those 40,000 people, could I have ever done that on my own? Absolutely not. But every single time that story gets shared, it benefits the entire team and me, right? That's leverage. Does that make sense? Like, so sometimes people look at this and we go, what? Wait, like that's a scam. you know, it's so funny to me when people think that, because, you know, there's a story there. And remember that if somebody tells you it's a pyramid scheme, or if they tell you, oh, it's one of those things, that they typically have a story why they're saying that. They've had an experience. So be empathetic to that experience. Ask them, you know, what can you tell me more about why you feel like that? Or if somebody says it's a pyramid scheme, well, what does that mean to you? Because maybe they think pyramid scheme is something that it isn't. You know, pyramid schemes are illegal. First of all, they have no product. Only the people at the top make money. Like, there's multiple things that happen inside of a pyramid scheme that we are not. We are not a Ponzi scheme. This is a viable, legal business model that's governed over by the government. Like, there's an agency that looks over this industry.
Yeah.
All right, John, did you have something you wanted to add?
I just think that you really effectively pointed out that everybody, you know, when we're talking to people, everybody has their own opinion and experience, and being really sympathetic to what that is, whether it's the money conversation, the business model conversation, the health conversation. You know, if someone says, well, I tried shakes once and they don't work, or I don't like them, there's a story there. Let's find out. You know, or I lost weight once. How did that make you feel? Right. You know, you want to feel that again? What happened? You know, tell me more. Why did you stop? It's so great to get the conversation rolling and find out.
Well, you know, that's such an important point, because we can be great presenters and I can vomit all over you what I have to tell you, or I can ask you questions and support you from the place where you are. Where are you? And so unless I say, tell me more about that, tell me more about why you feel that way, tell me more about how it would feel for you to not feel that way. Like, what would that look like for you if you didn't have to do that, or you didn't have to feel that way? You know, empathy is such a huge thing, and we miss a point sometimes to be able to ask really great questions. So I always like think in my mind, okay, if I've said more than 4 sentences, it's time for me to stop and ask a question.
JoJo, can you go over a little bit about the formulation? Because there may be somebody on this call, I don't know, who doesn't quite understand how the cycle works.
Yes, I can. So let me, you know what, let me do it this way. Hold on. I'm just going to scan through some of this stuff really quick. There's like all my stuff. Because I can, let's see, do I want to do it that way? Let me do it this way, and then I'll show you guys what it actually looks like. Okay. You get enrolled and you become a consultant. So please tell me if I'm freezing, you guys, so I can stop talking until it catches up. Okay, so you get enrolled, and then you share with 2 people. Now, we have a compensation plan that's called a 2/3, 1/3 binary. Binary meaning 2 legs. 2/3, 1/3 meaning 2/3 of our volume comes from one leg, 1/3 comes from another leg. Now, remember, you know, there's people, especially if you're talking to somebody who understands network marketing, there have been really ugly binaries out there that were not effective. Okay, so when you say binary to somebody, now, okay, this is not your grandmother's binary. This is an updated, like, amazing binary plan. So just help them understand that this is the newfangled binary, not the old fangled. Okay. So when we enroll one on the left and enroll one on the right, that makes us a consultant. Now remember that along the way, our important number is 100 BV. 100 BV is business volume. If you hear PV, that's also the same thing. That just means personal volume. That's my volume. And so my volume is PV, your volume is PV, everyone else's volume is BV, okay, business volume. what's amazing about this is there's no capping, there's no blocking, there's no percentage difference, there's no, hey, level 1 gets 5%, level 10 gets 1%, and after that you get nothing. That does not happen here. Okay, this is, you get 6% all the way through the organization. Every single person, doesn't matter who they are, who enrolled them, or how far down they are, doesn't matter. Okay, so you enroll one on the left and one on the right. We all order 100 BV, and that makes us what we consider an active consultant. At consultant level, that unlocks our bank. What's really cool is that when we first come in and we just have our initial 100 BV and people are being enrolled in our organization or in our network, we're already starting to bank volume. At an associate level, you can bank volume. At a consultant level, that's when you're given the keys to your bank and you can unlock the door and collect that money. Okay, so the bank is there, it's making a savings account. Once you become a consultant, you have the key that opens the door. So when we start to share, people start to come in. So we share with two, we want to teach people how to share with two. Some people will come in and will just be customers, and that's great. We love people who are customers. 80% plus of our entire company are just customers. They're just product users. And I don't want to say just, because that's incredible. 80% of people love our product and never share it with anyone else. Isn't that sad? Oh my gosh, they might share it with one person. 80% of people love our product and don't tell people. This is why we want to make this really well known so we can up that number. What if we just went 10%? 10%, we have 70% customer, or we up that to 90. 90% of our customers also share the business, right? Would that be incredible? Anyway, so side note. But as people are starting to become enrolled, you'll see that, I enrolled, let's say I enrolled Susan down here, and she became a consultant because she enrolled one on the left and one on the right. So as you start seeing this, like, people will get enrolled underneath each other. Now, know that we have nowhere else to go but underneath each other. Some compensation plans will go wide and you can build, 12 people across. We build underneath each other. So when I say the rising tide rises all boats, this is what I mean. We're lifting from the bottom. Does that make sense? So as people are coming in and all of these people are getting enrolled, some will become consultants, some will be customers, and it's okay, doesn't matter. All of their BV affects us the same way. So all of these people start to come in and the organization starts to kind of look crazy because there's kind of people all over the place, which is really awesome. So when you're on Autoship with 100 BV, you are able to collect BV from your entire organization. So now this person starts to collect 100 or orders 100, this person orders 100, this person orders 100, this person orders 100, right? All these hundreds are going through, but what happens is when this person orders 100, look at all the people that it affects. It goes to this person, it goes to this person, it goes to this person, and it moves all the way up the line, and that 100 BV stops in everybody's bank until it gets to yours, and then it stops in your bank. Isn't that cool? So it just moves up the line until we get to that 600, 300. So the orders would go through here, 100s would move up, and it would drop in your bank. Orders would go through here, it would go up, and it would drop in your bank. So I'm going to show you what your back office looks like in a second. But this is, let's just say, for example, this is our bank, 600 and 300. When we get to 600 and 300, that creates a cycle. So now, obviously, so we have all of these hundreds here that have gone up, but this person's 100, what I want you to understand is it stopped with this person in their bank, and it stopped with this person in their bank, and it stopped with this person in their bank. If they didn't have 100 BV order, it would just skip over them. So let's say this person right here didn't have 100 BV order, it would go from this person's bank to this person's bank, to this person's bank, to this person's bank, and then on up the line. Does that make sense? So every time we get 600 and 300, or 600 and 300, doesn't matter which side it comes in on, whichever side hits 600 first, it'll take it from there, and then 300 from the other side, it will create a cycle, which we get 6% of, which is worth $54. So if you take the 900 of the volume, we get 6% of that volume, which equals in money, $54. Make sense? Once that cycle comes in, the BV is taken out, the 600 goes down, and it goes down by 300 on the other side, and then the orders start to come through again. Now what will happen is we have people who are sharing, and they're enrolling people today, and new orders are going through, and now we're in month 2, so people who were enrolled last month are going to start to auto ship. So on the days that their auto ship is due, in the middle of the night, those BVs are going to go through your bank. So you're going to go to bed with a certain amount of BV and wake up with more BV in the morning. We actually make money while we sleep. What does everyone say? What would be the ideal job for you? I want to make money while I sleep. Well, this is what we do every single day. We go to bed with a certain amount of money. We wake up with more, right? Is that making money while we sleep? Yes. Isn't that so awesome? Like, how do you not get it, right? But, okay, so the little beehive of activity that's happening during the day with the leveraged team. Right now you have this leveraged team that's working during the day. They're enrolling people, we're sharing with people, we're sending out videos, orders are going in. Then during the night, we're having auto ships come through, and all of that BV is coming in. So now this person ordered 100 BV last month. Now they've got another 100 BV. So now there's 200 in their bank as well. Now all that goes up and ends up in our bank again. Now, we have more than 600 and 300. What happens now? Well, it's going to take the 300 from that 400. Now look, remember it's opposite side now. It doesn't matter, right? Whichever one hits there first. It's going to take the 600 from that 700, and it's going to leave the leftover. And it's going to give you another cycle. Cool? Now you can do that all day long, multiple days. It's not like you can make one cycle a day, 250 cycles. What's 250 by 54, right? That's a lot of money. But this leaves the leftover 100, so you can start to build from that again. So as the orders start to come through, this would just add to that 100. As long as you have your 100 BV volume in, as long as you have your personal order, that volume will never go away and will just continue to add to that. That is so important. Which is 2 shakes and a bottle of Isagenix. It's not a huge requirement for us to have this every single month. I'm not asking you to go spend thousands of dollars. It's $165 of something you are going to do anyway, which is eat. Why would you not want to spend a little bit of extra to put telomere support in your body and support your body at the cellular level? People are taking all kinds of supplements and things they're crap, they don't work. We have this amazing science-backed, clinically studied product. Put it in your body, right? 100 BV personal. You don't have to order 40,000 shakes and keep them in your garage and try and go sell them to people. Doesn't work like that. I use mine, John uses his, I see Dolores on my screen, she's using hers. We all just use our own stuff. What an amazing business concept. You guys get that? We're only using our own product and sharing with people how they do the same thing. Change your breakfast, change your life, right? So let me show you guys this. I'm gonna move through some of this stuff. I wanna show you what your back office looks like. Okay, so I enrolled Dave MacArthur. Yay, right? So I didn't, but for today, we're gonna pretend like I did. So we enrolled Dave MacArthur. So now this is what your actual back office will look like. This is what we call our BV summary. So we have the week ending. We always can see 5 weeks. So the previous 4 weeks and the current week that we're on. What's really cool, if you guys ever want to like click in your back office, if you click on details right here, and I can't hyperlink this because this is just a picture, but if you click on details, it will show you every single day of what happened. So I click on this and it will show me every single day between the 14th and the 21st on a separate form. I can click on that day and it will show me every single person that ordered on that day, whether they're left and right and how much BV they ordered. Isn't that incredible? It will also hyperlink me to their ID number. So I know who they are. Our back office is amazing. So when I tell you we have an amazing website, our website's incredible. This is our BV summary. So this is going to show us how many cycles we've earned. This is going to show us what volume has gone through on the left side and what volume has gone through on the right side. So this is our bank. This is our little savings account. So, all right, ready? This is what our tree actually looks like. So we enroll someone here, and they enroll someone on the left and someone on the right. So Dave goes in and Dave enrolls Bob and Pam. And now he has 2 people. Now he's a consultant, right? He's become a consultant. They order 100 BV. Cool, makes sense. Dave enrolls 2 people, 100, everyone's doing 100 volume. Dave's got 100, Bob's got 100, Pam's got 100. Now Dave's a consultant and he can unlock his bank. That volume goes into the bank. You guys see that? How it pops up there? It looks just like that in your back office. So now what we add to that is that every 30 days or every 29 days, Dave's actually doing his own volume. So that's also going into his bank, which is where the extra 109 came from. But when Dave enrolled these 2 people, he became consultant and the company gave him 50 bucks. But because he did that, in his first 30 days, he actually earned 100. So I'm switching over to a different view here, right? So Crystal Consultant bonus from the day that you become an associate, every person enrolls as a customer. So there's not a requirement you have to come in and have a business. Everybody's a customer first. You have to love the product and want to be here, right? So customer comes in, they decide they want to share, they become an associate. From the day that they convert to associate, they have 30 days to share with 2 people to get Crystal Consultant bonus, which is worth $100. And that's like a special bonus they're doing right now, but we just found out, yay, that they've extended it to the end of the year. Did you guys know that? Isn't that cool? So our Crystal Consultant bonus has been extended to the end of the year.
I did not know that. That's awesome.
Is that awesome? Cool. Okay, so now Bob enrolls Joe and Deb, Pam enrolls Tim and Dan, and everyone's doing their part, right? Now, that I don't know why that's K all of a sudden, but whatever. So K turned into Dave, Dave turned into K. Just ignore that, right? Pretend that's Dave MacArthur up there. Okay, so now there's 6 people in the organization. All of the volume that they ordered is going into the bank. So you see, as I do that, that volume shows up in the bank. That's exactly the way it's going to happen as you enroll somebody. You enroll somebody, somebody in your organization enrolls somebody, that shows up in your bank. Cool? Okay, so now Bob became a consultant because he's got his 100 and Joe and Deb both have their 100. Make sense? Now what's really cool is that not only did Bob become a consultant and he did it in 30 days, so he earned his bonus, but because you enrolled Bob and he's your personal enrolled and he just became consultant, the company said, congratulations, thank you for growing another consultant, and they give you another $100 bonus. Cool? Okay. So Bob, this is the 50, okay, here's the thought. So what if I don't make my 30 days? What if I don't enroll somebody within my first 30 days? Do I just get nothing? No, if you become consultant after your 30 days, then the company still gives you 50 bucks. Cool? So you're still getting that, right? So now Pam enrolls her 2 people. She has her 100 BV. They order their 100 BV. All of that bank, all of that volume goes into the bank. Pam became consultant and you got another $100 bonus because you were the one who enrolled Pam. Cool? That next level is what we call manager. But look at what happened. Because now we have 600 here and we have 300 here, do we have enough for a cycle? We do, right? Because we need 600 and 300. So that turns into a cycle, and then we take the 300 from the low end and the 600 from the high end, and it leaves the leftover. So then we just add more to that as the next orders go in. This gets calculated like daily. I don't even want to say daily. It gets calculated all day. It's not like just at the end of the day it gets calculated. It gets calculated constantly throughout the whole day. And it pays weekly. So when you become manager, so what happened here is that with this, when you shared with Bob and he shared with two, and you shared with Pam and she shared with two, that makes you manager, and the company gave you an extra $250 bonus. So not only are we earning cycles over here, which are worth $54 each, but we're earning all of these upfront bonuses. And so, you know, what's interesting, you guys, is that, you know, we talk about linear income versus leveraged income, and linear income is like our paycheck income that we get from our boss. And leveraged income is what we get from residual income or from passive income or from interest, or that's all, you know, passive income. So linear income and leveraged income, two different kinds of things. Well, this, because our bonuses are timed basically. So you have 30 days to get your crystal consultant bonus. You have 60 days to get your manager bonus, the crystal manager bonus. Those are linear income. Isn't that cool? So we actually have linear income in the beginning where you're getting some things that actually pay you up front, but these will go away. This residual is our leveraged income that continues on for forever, as long as you're here. Like I can stop it right now if I wanted to say, hey, I just want the volume to stop. Like it can't stop now. It's got its own feet. We've crested the hill. There's so many people there that are sharing. There's no way that it would stop. Does that make sense? Like how you get a cycle? Any confusion? Is there any questions here? Let me stop my share so I can. I don't even know how to stop my share right now. Hold on. Okay, there it is. You have 50 things going on the page. Okay. Questions. Yes. So what's really important? So here's something that happened, and I'll just share this little story with you. Is this week, one of my really great customers reached out to me and said, "Oh my gosh, my husband has been, you know, he's been a constant customer. He has been loyal. He orders his product every 29 days. He doesn't share with anybody. He just loves the product. He eats it every single day." And so he enrolled his daughter, and she's been over on his left side. And so they had one extra person to enroll. And so she enrolled him under her husband. Now think, so he had one person enrolled. He's been doing his product the whole time. So he's been banking all of that volume because he had his personal order in. He enrolled one person and they cycled 27 times.
Oh my gosh.
27, so somebody multiply 27 by 54, right? That was just from being a good customer. That pays, she was like, I am so excited. It paid for our entire vacation. Our vacation is paid for. Something we didn't even expect. So they were expecting to have this expense of this vacation, and it turned into that investment that they made in their health and their food every day, paid for that expense. Isn't that awesome? So when we talk about how important it is to maximize the compensation plan, and be on Autoship. Make sure that you're eating your food every single month, that you're taking your supplement every single month. If you're buying vitamin C, buy it from yourself. If you're going to the store, you're running into 7-Eleven to buy an energy shot, you know, get it from yourself. We have all of these amazing things. You can do essential oils, you can do vitamins, you can do skincare, all of that stuff that we have that's so incredible. You guys, we have this huge store of stuff. If somebody cannot find 100 BV out of all of our products, they just don't realize that it's there. Cool? Does that make sense? All right. there anything else you feel like that was just the basics of a cycle?
Thank you, JoJo.
Get to manager, right? You plus 2, them plus 2. And then you know what you do after you do you plus 2, them plus 2? Go back and do it again. You plus 2, them plus 2 with a new group. And let that old group start to create their own leverage and create a new group under them. Remember that there's some really important key things to remember about mindset here. And, you know, we go, oh, I told 5 people and they all said no, and this doesn't work. There are people out there with their hands up. When you have an experience with this product, we love to say, it's not when you get into Isagenix, it's when Isagenix gets into you. And even though the people that are putting it in to their body, it doesn't always get into them. Does that make sense? It doesn't always shake their soul. They don't have these profound experiences because they don't get that. They don't see the long-term effect of what happens with telomeres because they took it for a month. And they just didn't see the things that we see, right? They didn't see what my mom saw after a year. And so it's not into them. This is into me. You can shake me upside down and tell me that this doesn't work. There's not anybody, not one person, not one soul. I don't care how smart. I don't care what education they have. I don't care what their background is. There's not one person that could walk in here and tell me that this does not work, that this product does not work, that this compensation plan does not work. I am unshakable. Not everyone starts there. It took me time to get there. But until you get that for yourself, borrow mine. Remember that. The person who talks to the most people wins. You never know when it's that one person who's standing next to you in line at grocery store who's been praying for something. You never know who that person is. We see all the time, people are ready to have a life transformation. Just because we decided to transform today doesn't mean everyone in our world is ready to transform today. Our job is to be here when they are ready. Let them know what we have, and then be here when they're ready to make that step. The seeds that we're planting now will grow later. You cannot ever sow and reap and harvest, sow and harvest on the same day, right? You can't. You don't plant a seed and walk out an hour later and have a carrot. Never. Would be great if it worked that way, but it doesn't. So we are professional seed planters. Be patient with the people that we're approaching. Not everyone is ready. And there will be all of this activity that happens, and you'll be really excited, and people will be coming in, and there'll be all this stuff that happens, and then all of a sudden it sort of swells. And it allows us to go back and take care of the things that we just created. And then there'll be this hive of activity again, and then it'll swell. And then we have to go back and take care of the things that we created while we were in that wave. So if you think about, I love the surfer analogy, okay? We work really hard and paddle out there, and how hard is it to paddle on that surfboard out to get that wave? And then we have to sit there and wait in that swell for that big wave to come. So we worked really, 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 really hard to get out there, and now we have to sit there and wait for a minute. Take a breath and wait for that wave to come. And then the wave comes and we ride it in, and then what do we got to do? We got to work really hard and paddle out there again and sit in that swell and wait for that wave to come again. And that's the exact way this business works on a daily basis, is we're going through swells and waves all the time. It's paddle, 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 swell, wave, and it always goes in this cycle. So when you're in the swell, you're where you're supposed to be. We feel like it's not happening, but when you're in the swell, that's allowing you to step back and take a look at what you've created and harvest and cultivate that and love on that until the next wave comes. Does that make sense?
It sounds fun too.
It's fun. There are days when, that paddling is hard work. I'm not gonna lie. That when you fall off the board and you're like, can I get back on today? And some days you can, and some days you can't. Tomorrow, if I can't get back on the board today, I get back on tomorrow.
It's a great analogy. Having been brought up in Southern California at the beach all the time, and lots and lots and lots of surfing in the waves, when I was riding that wave and it had caught me, or I had caught it, I never even thought about the work it took to get there. Occasionally I thought about what might happen if at the end of the wave when I get dumped, but
Right.
being on that wave is the most exhilarating process. And every time we get a yes, we ride that wave. There's no question about that. You feel your endorphins, and you just feel a lot better. And you're excited for that person. And then when you get a no, the skill in the strategy is to learn to work with the no's and celebrate them and wait for the yes and look for it. Become a conversationalist and be able to talk with people in their area of need empathetically, because you want to ride the wave with them. Darn it.
You do.
Yeah.
Well, and remember that too. When you're riding that wave, you get to the end. Sometimes it's a perfect ride and you just like float off into the water.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get dumped.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes you get dumped on your
Yeah.
head, and that's just the way it goes. And you go,
Yeah.
okay, I get it. We never know. We never know. Like we meet somebody, they have all this huge potential, and you can just see it for them. You can see it for them. They can't see it for themselves. We try and lift them up over the wall and give them a peek on what's on the other side. But I'm just telling you that almost everyone that came in and told me, I'm going to rock this is going to be amazing, I'm going to do this, almost has never done anything. It's always those quiet people who come in, who wait and sit in the background, who twiddle their fingers and go, I'm not sure, that have always come out and been rock stars for me afterwards. Right, Sherry Closer, I don't know if Sherry's on today, but who sat back and watched for 3 years, right? So, when you look at that, you just never know. You just never know. I breathe love and potential and vision and future into every single person that comes in here. And some will take their own surfboard and take the ride, and some won't. And it's okay.
Well, thank you, JoJo. I came in as a customer. I told my boss I'd never sell it. I told you I sell stuff for you from 9 to 5, and when I go home, I'm done. And then the transformation happened, and I got a bright idea. It's called 6%. It was given to me by Dave MacArthur and Malcolm. It was like, if I feel this good,
Well, look at Lisa. She said it took her sister 10 years to see it. And
Wow.
Jill 3.5, Rhonda 4 years. She had to call Dr. Oberlin 19 times. Okay. Are you willing to call somebody 19 times to share this with them? Most of us call somebody once and get a no and don't call back. So, it's the most, there's not any aspect of life that this hasn't touched in a positive way. And so when you realize that, we get very defensive sometimes when somebody says this is a pyramid scheme, or this doesn't work, or your product is crap, or whatever things come up, right? That can feel personal, but remember that, let's go back to the questions, right? Let's go back to the empathy. Them saying that to us has to come from an experience that they've had somewhere. That comes from their life experience. So love on that experience and find out what it is, because they can shift. I shifted. I said no to everything, and I shifted. I'm not any better than anybody else. So thank you guys for being on. I hope this was really helpful. And I know it didn't go into Facebook. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that, but we did get it recorded if anybody wants it. But 1 minute for a question. If anybody has a question, I will do one question.
I'll get us the recording.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we're
All
good.
right. Awesome. Thank
Great.
you,
Hopefully
JoJo,
that
for
was helpful.
wrapping
U
up
plus two,
today.
then plus two, over and over and over and over and over and over. How does the new shake taste? Oh, anybody want to know? Anybody get a sample of it?
Please.
Okay,
When can I
so
order?
the new shake, you know, we didn't really talk about celebration, you guys. 17th and 18th, there's so much stuff coming. Like, be ready. Like, be ready, be fueled, have an e-shot handy. There's going to be so much stuff. But so know that if you haven't heard about the new shakes, so the vegan shake that we have currently, so the dairy-free shake that we have currently is going away. So they're phasing that out. If anybody's been trying to get vegan shake, the only way to get it right now is to get it through a pack. So you have to actually buy like a shake and Isagenix system to be able to even get the current dairy-free. On Friday, the new dairy-free is going to replace that. I haven't had a chance to taste it, but what I'm understanding about it is that they're calling it a whole blend because it's made from whole foods. It's made from whole raw foods and whole raw nutrients. So it's something different. So when somebody says to you, you know, I just eat real food. Yeah, well, this is real food. This is actually whole food. And so what I love, there's so many things, you guys, that I love about it, but the packaging is 100% recyclable. Okay, that first of all, that has me jazzed up. If you know me, I'm environmental like thought process all the time. So that makes me really excited. But you know what else gets me excited is it says non-GMO on the package. Okay, yay, we've been waiting forever to have a non-GMO label. And so now we have one. We got to taste the dairy-free. We got to taste the whey protein. So it's still a denatured whey protein, but it also has the whole blend in it. And let me just tell you, it blends smooth and yummy. And it's kind of, Vinny said it tasted like dark chocolate gelato to him. So after I mix it, but it's so good, so good. I have the vanilla one sitting on my counter, which I was going to mix up and make today. So, but that was the whey one, and just so good. I'm just so excited about the packaging and the labeling and all the stuff that went into it. And we have these new things called Vitamers. So I don't know if anybody like knows what that is or have heard of that. I know Carter made a really great post about what the Vitamers are.
What are the Vitamers?
They emailed us an article about that.
Yeah, we just posted up. I don't know, so if you got it off isagenixhealth.net or but I know Carter posted it up on the page the other day. So Vitamers are a form of the vitamins, but they're different. That, you know, all vitamins do different things, and all bees have different aspects of what they do. But these are different components of the vitamins that actually do different things, and I'm not actually sure how it all works yet, but I know on Friday night that's going to be a lot of what's talked about is the new products. Dr. Plant's going to teach us the explanation behind the science behind Vitamers. And yes, from what I understand, all the canisters are being exchanged for the new recyclable packages. So what the plan is that I think by 2028, they want to be zero waste. Now realize, we have over 80 products and more coming to go zero waste, which means everything has to be either 100% recyclable or it immediately breaks down. That's a huge endeavor for a company who has over 80 products. I mean, if you think about every single little thing, the little plastic band that goes around the top, the cotton that's on the inside, the plastic ball, there are so many things that have to be transitioned. And so the fact that they've moved as fast as they have with this technology is amazing. Like, this is blowing my mind with what they're doing with the packaging. So, and for those of you guys who know me and know, like, I'm always looking for things that environmentally are making a shift. Like, that's my big, huge thing, is we got to take care of this planet for it to take care of us. And So the new technology that's coming, there's going to be new technology for the website, they've streamlined everything. Like, it's just, the simplicity behind everything that's happening is incredible. So, and 12 new countries in one day. That's a huge endeavor. Like, to have one new country in one day is a big endeavor, but to have 12, that's a big deal, you guys. And with, we look at, everybody kind of was like weirded out when we umbrellaed Zija and they came into this. But when we look at what the benefit has come from having them included here, they're the reason that we were able to make this huge 12-country leap into all these other places, is because of our affiliation with Zija now. And so we'll have I think 8 to 10 of their products that we'll be bringing into our product line as well.
Great.
So for anybody who's a Zango lover, like, there's a million people out there who are still Zango lovers. Like, they're going to be looking for you guys. So anyway, all right, I'm off my soapbox. Be on the virtual. It's virtually, it's free. It's free. There's zero reason why every customer and every associate and everybody should not be watching.
Is it isagenixlive.com?
It's it's Celebration Live 2020. Somebody tell me.
Back office. Okay, thank you. I should know that.
Celebration Live 2020, I think, is the website.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
everybody, thanks for
your
participation and all your comments and everything. And, I'm glad we could do this together as a team. Dave's camping. God bless him. I hope he's just camping his brains out, and here we are.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the awesome presentation. I'm at work, so I wanted to comment, but I'm so busy with these cycles here. But I was lucky to get on, and so inspirational. Fired up to get this business going somehow. I have a lot of
Thank you.
Always.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. It was an awesome presentation.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Amazing, both of you guys. Thank you.
See you at Celebration. Okay.
How did you get the samples though?
Oh,
well,
that's Cindy.
it's called Be Millionaire number 164.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know.
Does everybody know that JoJo's a millionaire in the business? Come on, man.
All right. Holla at us, JoJo.
Actually, I don't know why they showed up. I just know that they did. And so a lot of times ahead of time, we get stuff, but not always. So, I was just happy. I'm like, I did something right, and they dropped it in my mailbox.
What happened was JoJo told somebody who told somebody who told somebody who told somebody who told, and it went on, and it's out of control, and she is still telling people.
Yep.
So
14 and a half years.
JoJo, after next week, will the packs be able to include the new proteins in our packs?
Oh yeah, on Friday, you guys, when the announcement comes out, they're going to, all the products will be released. And so know that what they typically do is they will do a bundle. So with all the new products, they'll typically bundle all these new products together and then either give us extra BB or give us a deal or give us a percentage off. I don't know what they're going to do, but they usually do an event bundle where everyone can try the new products. And so I wait and see what they do on Friday night, but they'll probably do that. And just as a little hint, and I'll give you a little teaser, a lot of times they will upload stuff to the website when no one's paying attention. And so when you pop into the website, it's already there before they've announced it. So just if you go in and look new products or look through, it may be up ahead of time. I'm not promising, but sometimes that's how it shows up. But yes, we'll be ready to go on Friday. I'm sure they're more than ready to go.
Ooh, wow. What a week. Okay, here we go. God bless everybody. See ya.
God bless, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.